Hey, what is up, Frag fam? Corbin here again from Northwest Scent. So today we're going to be doing some more live first impressions here on camera. I always love doing these videos. They're some of my favorite ones to actually film. It's really fun to sniff new stuff on camera live, give you guys my honest first impressions, so you can actually see what I think of this fragrance just from the get-go. As far as what we're going to be talking about today, I have a bunch of fragrances in here, although I don't know exactly what was in here. I requested some stuff after they reached out to me. So yes, these were sent to me for review, but I don't actually know what they ended up sending me. As you can see, have not opened the package yet. This is coming from an indie house that you see get a lot of talk, especially on the YouTuber side of the community, especially I would say within the last year. So I will actually open up this package and see what fragrances I got sent after the intro. Alright guys, welcome back from the intro, and like I already said, we're going to be doing some live first impressions of different fragrances that are from an indie house that I've actually yet to try. I've never smelled anything from them. As far as who this is coming from, I will show you guys right here. Let's see. This is coming from Samy Andraus, which I know you guys probably haven't seen any videos on these guys in a while. I'm kidding, of course, like I already said though. Samy gets a lot of talk. His fragrances, you see TLTG reviews talk about these guys quite a bit, the fragrance wardrobe. There's other channels that I've seen, go over his fragrances and stuff. I've seen pretty positive overall kind of impressions of these fragrances. People seem to enjoy them for the most part. We'll have to wait and see how these actually are though. Like I said, never smelled anything from them. I'll be as honest as I can, let you guys know whether I think they're worth the money and whatnot. But first, let's open this up and actually see what I was sent. Okay, so there's like two different boxes here with, assuming there's gonna be like 2 or 3 fragrances inside each one. Okay, yeah, so we got 5 fragrances here total. I'm not really sure which ones these are yet. I'm gonna take off the bubble wrap and actually these little sleeve covers that are holding the bottles. Okay, so yeah, I got all these bottles out and they come like this, which I think that's actually pretty nice. It kind of avoids leakage, especially with stock bottles like this. They tend to leak even if you put on the plumber's tape around the threading. So we have white sapphire right here. Let's see if that focuses. White sapphire, and I believe, yeah, this is the Aventus clone, or the inspired by version of Aventus. And then there's actually this one right here, blue sapphire. I've seen Ross talk about that from TLTG reviews quite a bit. I believe he always says that's kind of going after Elysium from Roger Parfums, so that's pretty cool. I'll probably try that one. We also have green sapphire right here, which I believe this is an inspiration of Bleecker Street from Bond Number 9. And then there's 2 other ones. I don't know if these are original creations or what, but these don't seem super familiar just based on the note breakdown. There is, what's this called? Limoncello d'Italia. The last one is called Oud Space, which is right here. So I think I'm only gonna try 3 on camera. If I do 5 first impressions, this is gonna be a really long video. So I think what I'm gonna do is white sapphire, because it's going after Creed Aventus, which you guys know that's one of my favorite fragrances. We will also do blue sapphire, because this one's very popular, and it's going after Elysium, which I also really like a lot. And then I think we'll try Oud Space as well right here. This one, just the note breakdown, sounds really interesting to me. I will go over the note breakdown once we get to each separate fragrance. All right, so I'm gonna get these bottles set up, and then we'll hop into the first impressions. Alright, so we are going to be starting with this one right here, which is white sapphire. Again, this is his version of Creed Aventus. He also puts the notes on the back here. So he lists pineapple, grapefruit, bergamot, patchouli, oak moss, and cedar. Now cedar and then grapefruit you do not see in the original Aventus. Grapefruit maybe just a little bit more bitter, who knows. Cedar wood brings a kind of a nice pepperiness to a fragrance usually. It's a little bit more of like a dry, spicy wood. So maybe this will just be, again, on that kind of more bitter and dry side compared to the actual Creed Aventus. But let's not guess, let's actually figure that out. So here we go. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is, I would say, a darker take on the DNA. Whereas with Aventus, it really does present itself citrusy. Even the older batches that are a little bit richer, just from that maceration and everything, you get a little bit more like vanilla, I would say, in some of those older batches. So they do come across decently rich, but still very citrusy and bright overall. This one, though, is striking me as a darker fragrance, and that patchouli is really shining through here. This almost smells kind of in that like realm of like a chocolatey kind of patchouli, where it's, it's warm. It's kind of got these like gourmand tendencies to it. But that's also bringing a sweetness to it. So like I said, regular Aventus does have vanilla in it. So some of the batches where the vanilla really kind of pops out, they are not like sickeningly sweet, but they do have this prominent sweetness to them. And you're kind of getting that here from the patchouli. And honestly, that's the strongest note to my nose, is that patchouli. That's the thing that's jumping out. I am getting this kind of bright fruitiness as well. Again, I couldn't really say that it smells like a bergamot or a pineapple. It's not really presenting itself super crystal clear like that. I'm just kind of getting this vague citrusy quality overall. And there is a kind of a woody aspect to this as well. I don't know if I could like diagnose it as cedar wood specifically, but I'm kind of getting this dry woodiness. But again, this is really all about the patchouli, which is surprising. You don't really get patchouli in the forefront with regular Aventus. It is detectable, but it's not dominant. Here I'm getting a citrus patchouli bomb, kind of with this dry woodiness as well. And that's basically all I'm picking up. So as far as a similarity to Aventus, this vaguely like resembles Aventus. I would not call this a direct clone. I would really call this more of like, yeah, like an inspired by fragrance, where maybe he's tweaking things, kind of taking his own take on it. It does smell decently high quality as well. I'm not gonna say it's the most natural smelling fragrance out there, but you know what? Neither is Aventus. If you smell Aventus nowadays, it does not strike you as an all natural fragrance. And I would say the quality here is just on par with regular Aventus. But again, in my opinion, it doesn't smell the exact same as Aventus. It's not really a clone of that fragrance. I still do prefer regular Aventus, but this is a great alternative to kind of get you in that ballpark. And maybe again, if you're just like after like a darker profile, if you like patchouli for example, you might really like this one. So overall, yeah, it smells really nice. I still do prefer regular Creed Aventus, but a good alternative nonetheless. It smells really nice. Again, that was white Sapphire. All right, so the next one we're gonna be talking about is this right here, Oud Space, which the notes are oud, vanilla, amber, Turkish rose, violet leaf, and then myrrh. Now, I don't really know what this is going after. Like I said, I don't even know if this is an original creation or an inspired by fragrance. Oud, rose, and then vanilla. Maybe this is going after Oud Satin Mood, like a sweeter kind of oud rose combo. But there's so many oud rose fragrances out there, it's really hard to tell. So let's try and spray this and actually figure that out. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely reminding me of Oud Satin Mood. It's that heavy, jammy rose with like this crystally, sugary sweetness. You know, a very sweet fragrance. Yeah, really on that jammy side for the rose. And you are kind of getting this very clean, not barnyardy, very clean oud. It's really more of like a rose fragrance, Oud Satin Mood. I think the rose is in the forefront, and then that oud is definitely like second fiddle to it. And it's kind of the same thing here. It's this jammy, again, dark, syrupy sweet rose. The sweetness is quite syrupy. It's not very powdery. So this is striking me as a vanilla dominant fragrance as far as that sweetness goes. And what I can say is different with this one, at least to my nose, is it's got a little bit more of kind of this almost like a metallic feel, if that makes sense. It's kind of cooling smelling in a way, which I believe that would be coming from the violet leaf that he's using here. There's really not much more that I can pick up on. Like I said, you know, this is really kind of striking me very similar to Oud Satin Mood, but like I said, it's got more of kind of this coldness to it. I wouldn't say it's quite as sweet as well. This one is coming across a little bit more mellow. Oud Satin Mood smells amazing, and actually my fiance has it. I really like it on her, but for me, it is way too sweet. And like I said, this is coming across just a little bit more tame. You know, of course, yeah, it smells really nice. It's not for me though. I'm not a huge fan of Oud Satin Mood to wear personally. Again, I like it on other people. I really like it on my fiance. But as far as like how close this is to it, at least to my nose, this smells decently close. This smells a lot more similar than white Sapphire does to Aventus. So I think this is a pretty good alternative if you guys are looking for one for Oud Satin Mood. Of course, you know, that fragrance is extremely expensive. This one, a very good price overall. So again, that was Oud Space from Samy Andraus. All right, so there's only one fragrance left, so it has to be this one right here. This is Blue Sapphire, which again, this is his version of Roger Parfum's Elysium Parfum Pour Homme. Now, real quick, the note breakdown on this one is bergamot, lemon, artemisia, blackcurrant, cedarwood, pink pepper, labdanum, and leather. Now, just going off of memory from Roger Parfums, that one, it is classified as a fougere. I really kind of qualify it as a citrus aromatic though. It is a very light, bright, citrusy fragrance. This one sounds like it might even be a little bit darker because of the labdanum and then the leather that he's focusing on here. Although I think Ross has actually said that this is a lighter version of Elysium. So that's kind of hard to believe here, but I guess we'll have to find out. So let's actually spray this guy. Okay, yeah, so I can see the similarity to Elysium, definitely. This thing is extremely bright. There's actually, I would say, a little bit more of a density to this one. I don't know, when I smell Elysium, I just picture a basket of citrus fruits, like extremely bright, refreshing, very tart and juicy. That's how this one is, but there's definitely a little bit of a denser quality to this. So I guess my hunch was right, featuring that labdanum and then the leather. And then I think I can actually kind of pick up this labdanum poking through here. There's a little bit, just a little bit of this sweetness. This smells just ever so slightly sweeter than actual Elysium, but this is still very fresh overall and not a sweet fragrance profile. Again, I'm just saying that there's this small touch of sweetness that I'm picking up, whereas with actual Elysium, to me, it's just very tart and dry. There's basically no sweetness in that fragrance. There's maybe a little bit of this supple suede note in the back. I wouldn't call this a leather note. It's not really that brash. Again, it's very supple, almost creamy in a way, and I can kind of pick that up in the background along with that sweetness that I was talking about. But definitely at the forefront, it's these aromatic citrus notes, and there's a little bit of this green feel as well. So I do find this an overall darker profile than the original Elysium Parfum Pour Homme, but still it is a light fragrance in general. This is something you could totally pull off in the summertime, in the springtime. So I guess if you're looking for something like Elysium on a budget, but maybe you want something that's a little bit richer, just has a little bit of sweetness, a little bit more of this kind of dark character, this could be a good one for that. As far as the quality goes, I don't think it's quite as on par. Elysium to me is very natural smelling. It smells like fresh cut fruits and just green notes and stuff. To me, this one is just a little bit screechy, but it still smells really good overall. And for the money that you can get this thing for, I think it's a pretty good price. So again, the last fragrance that we tried from Samy Andraus, that was Blue Sapphire. Well, there you guys go. That was my first impressions of 3 fragrances from Samy Andraus. Overall, these actually did impress me quite a bit. You know, I wasn't really sure what to expect, especially for the price that you can get these for. I know that they get a lot of positive attention, but like I said, you know, I'm always a little bit skeptical. I have to try things for myself to actually see how they are. But these actually did smell really good, and some of these were really close to the fragrances that they were actually inspired by. So that did impress me. I will have Samy Andraus' website linked down below if any of you guys are curious to check him out, just to make it a little bit easier. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I would really appreciate dropping a like just to show your support, and then that way more people can see my videos on YouTube. Additionally, if you want to write a comment, maybe just let me know your thoughts, as well as some new video ideas or topics, that would be great too. And since you're down there doing all that stuff, if you've not already, if you could hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification, that would be amazing. That way you stay up to date on new videos whenever they get released going forward. But with all that out of the way, that's all I really have for you guys today. So I hope you have a good one, stay healthy, stay wealthy, and smell great.